I didn't even notice the time. Good evening, my name is Robert. Hi, Addie. I need to resub to Spootzoop. Hold on a second. Twitch.tv/SplatsApp. Use that Prime sub. And let me re-trigger that firstie for you so you get the emotes. There it is.
I'm thirsty! I'm thirsty! I'm thirsty! Fuck!
There we go. So that's SplatsApp's voice, actually, in her voice mod thing, and then I use her emotes there also in that redeem. Just because I love SplatsApp. A bunch. A lot. An axolotl. I have pudding that I had not quite finished. How is your Sunday going? How's your weekend? Because the weekend, I guess, is over. Unless you're like me, and a lot of people who work on the weekend, then you don't actually have a real weekend on the weekend. I closed last night. I got to close tomorrow. Got to close Tuesday. Today's your one day off of the week, so you're chilling. I feel that. Well, okay, I don't exactly feel that, but the first week that the Cat Cafe was open, I felt that. So the two owners are April and Tony. And April said to Tony, wow, we need to schedule Robert a day or two off so that we don't work him like 10 days in a row. I keep doing this. I keep making myself indispensable at the small companies where I work. Especially if I'm like in person there. But I don't know. I'm hoping things will slow down for me personally because we're trying to hire some more people. We did hire one girl, and I think there's another one in the works. Yes, I do need days off, but so if you hadn't heard, I got a job at Cat Cafe that just opened here in Topeka. And did I pronounce that Topeka or Topeka? Because locals pronounce it Ta. And I have a friend who pronounces it To, who moved here at the same time I did. And it's always funny to hear him say Topeka. And everybody else calls it Topeka. It's kind of like New Orleans and Nolans, or New Orleans. Anyway, Cat Cafe. So there's one in Kansas City, And then there's one in Lawrence, which is the next city east of us, the next biggish city east of us. And then there's here in Topeka, there's us. And I feel like I know for sure there are multiple in Denver, but that's like the next one if you go west, which is like 9 hours away. It's all the way across the state and then north some, I think. Eyelash. Anyway, Cat Cafe, brand new. And so I was helping do a whole bunch of setup stuff, particularly with like inventory and the website. Hi, Lily, come on. Exclamation mark kitty in chat to count the number of times the cats have shown up on stream. This is Lily. She is our Torby. She's 9 years old. And her brother, James, and I mean brother literally, they're from the same litter. So they're both 9. She's the Torby. And then James is piebald, which means he's mostly white, but then his ears and his tail and a couple of spots on his back and an elbow and whatever are the same pattern as her. But he's mostly white. And he's a large, handsome boy. He's like 15 pounds, although Lily's not tiny either. She's like 12. And then Charlie is our orange one. He's only 3. No, you don't get my pudding cup. You guys are always into my food, or you're always interested in my food. Lily, well, I was gonna say Lily's obsessed with me, but they're all obsessed with me. And it's kind of nice. Like, I work at a cat cafe, so I'm around cats all day. But they're not, I mean, some of them are aloof. Some of them are hiding and, you know, afraid of the new environment or whatever for the first couple of days. But even the ones that are out and about and friendly and whatnot, they're not just absolutely like, I want to be on you or near you or up in your face all the time. And these guys are. So it's nice to come home and have 1 or 2. And I can count one time in their entire life that I've had all 3 cats in my lap. And I think it was after like a week-long trip. They were all just like really missing me, apparently. And they all managed to tolerate each other well enough to all 3 be in my lap at the same time. Other than that, I get max 2. And it's usually Charlie and then one of the older 2. Because Charlie loves both of them. They at best tolerate each other, and they both kind of barely tolerate Charlie. I'm sorry that you're allergic, though. That does stink. Paige tells stories about a former coworker of hers who he was allergic to cats, and then his daughter found a very, very tiny kitten. I'm not even sure whether it needed to be bottle fed or not, but it was very small. And they decided to keep it. And over time, he actually became not allergic to cats, and they have 3 now. I know that's anecdotal, but it does happen. I know that's usually not the way allergies work. Usually they get worse, or you get more allergies. Thankfully, I'm not allergic to anything except like insect stings. And even then, it's only like I swell up mildly more than someone who isn't allergic. And I don't know, I may not even swell that much more. But I'm not going to go into anaphylactic shock. I'm not going to have my, throat close up. It's just it swells a little bit bigger. Hi, Lily. Yes, I love you, baby girl. You're very pretty and very sweet. You're also right up in my face. Yes, babe, that is where I did have the pudding cup, but I moved it. And even if it were over there, you're not allowed to have it. She likes to hang out just out of frame. I have to kind of tease her, trick her to come up to where you can see her. So, the Cat Cafe will have been open 2 weeks on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. So, not even 2 weeks officially open. And then we had not quite a week soft opening before that. And we've already adopted something like 15 cats out. Which is pretty nice. That's, I don't know, not quite 1 a day, but not far off either. So pretty proud of everybody who wanted to come and adopt them. We're still ironing kinks out. We're still figuring out processes and learning how to be faster at things, and especially like cleaning and inventory. Figuring out how to do, certain parts of the inventory in a transaction, because we do have a barcode scanner, and a lot of the things, the smaller things that we have barcodes, like the drinks and the food and the, we got some cheap jewelry and what else? You know, pet accessories like beds and carriers and toys and croc charms, which I didn't know were a thing until I started this job. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. And so we can just scan the barcode on those. But the shirts, especially, Lily, it's like all over, babe. The shirts especially are difficult because it it really would just be a lot of work to have barcodes on all the shirts, and April has not made us do that yet. And I'm really appreciative of that. But even then, if we did have barcodes on all of them, we don't have very much space, so we can't have like multiples of every size, of every color, of every design. So we have to, like, the ones that we do have physically, we have to look them up and, you know, put that into the transaction and do that way. And then the ones that we don't physically have, whether we're out of that size or we just don't have that design on us, or someone requests like, okay, I want, you know, this color logo on a blue shirt, we can get that. It's not a big deal, but we have to like order that in and have them come pick it up because we don't have the ability to do shipping right now. And so finding that in the Square point of sale system, I didn't say POS on purpose because that is what POS means, is point of sale. But I keep having to correct myself to say that because POS can also mean piece of shit. And I do also think of it that way because Square, the inventory is fine. Using it as a simple retail platform where you have your physical items in your physical store or on your web store, you have actual physical items that you're selling, and you need to manage that system. And then, you know, say you've got, you know, physical employees in a physical store and they need to clock in and manage that. That's fine. But they tried to expand into being this all-encompassing whole business model and multiple types of businesses, and the rest of that doesn't work super well, especially for appointment-based things like a lot of cat cafes are, like we are. We had to integrate a third-party thing in with that, and even that doesn't work great. So the way Square and all the other appointment things we've been able to find work is that they expect to have one customer or maybe a couple of customers with like one stylist or one therapist, or, you know, you have a resource that these people are coming to see. And actually, you know what? It is only 1-to-1 typically. But we have, you know, two resources. We have the adult cat lounge and we have the kitten room, lounge, whatever you want to call it. And we can have 10 people with the adults at a time, and we can have 5 people with the kittens at a time. And there's not a booking system that will do that with regular appointments. We have to put them in this third-party system called Acuity as group classes. And getting those scheduled and out on the calendar is a way much more manually involved process, because we have like 10 or 11, well, depending on how long we're open in the day, you know, 10 or 11 1-hour slots that we can have 10 people in the adults and 5 people with the kittens. And we have to set each and every one of those hours each and every day. And there are ways to duplicate them out, but what we had to do is we had to go into Monday. We had to schedule 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., and then if it was Friday or Saturday, 8 p.m., which is not Monday. And then we need to do that for Wednesday because we're closed Tuesday, for Wednesday. And then do that for Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday. And now you can repeat each of those weekly. Excuse me. So you can do the whole year at once if you're willing to sit down and schedule 11 different things 6 different times. I ended up putting together an automation script to do that for me, and even that automatically taking 5-10 seconds each time, not me having to click and type and do all the things and take 30 seconds to a minute to multiple minutes each time, took over half an hour to do, if I remember correctly, maybe closer to 45 minutes. So that is a very clunky process. So I keep having this idea that is way above my skill level. Not something I would actually realistically be able to pull off, which would be to build a system that did work the way that we need it to work, and potentially other cat cafes need it to work. And the reason I have the idea and I know it's above my skill level is because I do have some skill in that direction. It's just, it's way above my level. What I do believe that I can do without too much difficulty, once I review and refresh and relearn some things I learned like 5 years ago, is the other part that's being really difficult and manual is managing listing the kittens and the adults on our website, because we want the adoption application is entirely online. They apply online, they're approved online, they make their payment for the adoption fee online, which does not go to the cafe. It goes directly to the rescue and foster and whatever partners that we're working with. We don't touch it at all. There's, I think, a processing fee that goes to the processor, and that's it. What was I saying? But doing that, so I did 11 cats. I had to put 11 new cats on the website last Tuesday? This past Tuesday, I had to put 11 new cats on the website. That took 3.5 hours. Partially because the Square website builder is slow, and partially because one of my coworkers had the idea of, hey, we should print out information sheets about each of the cats and have those physically here at the store. And I'm like, yes, that's a great idea, but now I have to do it. And so I had to, number one, I had to make sure we had our own pictures, current, accurate pictures, good-looking pictures of the cats, which the pictures that would come from the foster organization, you know, they're dealing with potentially a dozen or more cats all at once, all the time, in their house with their family and their children and potentially dogs and the rest of their life going on, rather than this is like their job. So the pictures that they have are whatever they could get. And that's, you know, it's fine. Nothing against that. But we, you know, April wants to have a certain level of polish in our website and social media presence. So we had to get our own pictures of all the cats. And that took, you know what it's like taking pictures of cats, especially young ones. So we had to do that. And then once I've got those, April wanted me to use ChatGPT to generate some, you know, like flavor bio text for them. And where I could, I included information that was unique to that cat. Like we have one cat that has a really distinctive orange tip on her tail, except no, we don't anymore because she went home with somebody. And then we have another cat who has a pretty distinctive like black goatee on his chin to differentiate him from the other black and white one that looks just like him and is the same size and whatever. You know, and so, and, you know, personalities and whatever I knew of them or whatever the fosters knew of them. And put that into the website. As well as a link to their profile on the foster's website, as well as a link to the adoption application on the foster's website, which are two separate things. And so it doesn't sound like a whole bunch of work just to get it on the website, but just doing all of those things in a row together, and then, you know, there's other things going on distracting me, and then building the flyer for them. I had to get their picture in there, copy and paste that bio in there, manually edit a section about are they good with other cats, dogs, and children, and generate a new QR code to scan to go to their adoption application, and export those and print them out or whatever. So yeah, 11 cats took 3.5 hours. So that's like, what is that? Hey Google, what is 60 times 3.5? $210 divided by 11. So that took 20 minutes per cat. That actually is not a lot. I could maybe cut that down by, yeah, Google, you're being ridiculous. I swear the Google Home, the Google Nests are getting dumber. And it may have something to do with all the blocking I'm doing on my network of tracking and ads and everything. And you know what? I should stop complaining about it because I'm not being tracked. I'm not getting ads every 5 seconds of my life. God. So anyway, about 20 minutes per cat. I could probably cut that down to 15, but probably not much shorter than that. And so I want to build a system where I can like enter a command line command or click a button or something like that that will automatically do all of that for me in a matter of seconds. And I do mean seconds, less than 30 seconds probably. And I believe I can do it. I do believe I can do it. Now the question is, how long is it going to take for me to relearn all this stuff, and how long will it take me to build that? And am I okay with not getting paid for it? Because they, it's a brand new business. It's a startup. They don't have, a bunch of capital. They did get a lot of donations to help get started, but like April is really concerned about the cash flow because we just got started. So I'm doing this on my own time to help my own self mostly. So it's going to take some time. I have close to another week left of learning, if I remember correctly. Let me glance at this. To get to the point where I can do what I'm hoping to do. So there's, how long is this section? 48 minutes plus 30 minutes plus 48 minutes plus 48 minutes. Which I think should get me to the point where I can like deploy to a live host and be able to trigger this remotely and not have to, and have it available on our website as like an iframe. So what is that? Okay, where'd my calculator go? So 48 plus 30 plus 48 plus another 48. There we go. 174 minutes, so divided by 60, that's like 3 hours of learning, and I really can't do that all at once. Working with props, okay, so there's this whole React section that is completely new information to me. But that is all new at the end of the class that he added to the class that I bought 5 years ago. Why would he add to this class and not just sell it as a new class? Although he might have it separately as a separate class for people that just want to learn React. But he added it to this whole web dev framework class, and he's updated it, and that was 5 years ago. Anyway, so Colt Steele on Udemy. If you want to learn web development, he's a good teacher. I have to listen to him at double speed because he speaks kind of slowly. Also, especially because it's all mostly review that I'm looking at, but I have to listen to him at double speed, and he sounds like a completely different person when I listen to him at regular speed. But he is fairly thorough, and he does not assume any knowledge that he has not himself taught you in the course. And apparently he keeps updating his courses, so you buy it once and you get the updates for however long he does them. So Colt Steele with an E at the end. Steele. On Udemy, if you want to learn any kind of web dev stuff. He has not paid me to say that. This is apparently my second time taking the same course. And it's been good. Anyway. So, yeah, close to a week, maybe less than that, of learning left, and then I have to just start from scratch and try to build this thing, and screw it up, and get the errors, and rebuild it, and test it, and rebuild it again, and refactor, and make it secure. Although, it's not saving any kind of user information. There's no sensitive information going on. There's an API key that needs to be protected. But it's for a fairly obscure API, and I don't think overusing it is going to cost anybody any money. So I really don't see a problem with it security-wise, but best practices and whatnot, and who knows, I might get a job someday doing this. We did come to the conclusion, or I did, that I have to be the one who is the house spouse. Because Paige went shopping twice this week, number one, she went shopping twice this week, where I go once a week, and that's unless there's something we run out of or I forgot to get. But she decided there were more things to get, so she went shopping twice again this week. And then she had other errands to run and whatever, and I don't know how much extra she spent, but it was more than we could afford, and or more than she should have. And there's no way to control that. She has ADD. She's gonna make impulse purchases. I am 90% of her impulse control, and that's just how she is. So she has to be the breadwinner, and I have to make sure we don't, spend ourselves out of house and home. Anyway, so the plan is to spin the wheel tonight. There are 40-something games on there. Let me look at the inputs here. So there are 44 total inputs. One of them is end stream, which I will have to obey. One of them is Bulbasaur Cross Stitch. And I don't think there's anything else weird in there that is not a game. So 42 games on the wheel. I go through my Steam discovery queue, and if it's free and interesting, I'll add it to this. And if I spend 10 minutes on it, cool. It was free. I don't care. Because I built the models and everything. So there is an item on here called Try Again. Let me hide this again. There it is right there. Try Again. Right horizontal on the left side. That doesn't mean spin again. That means I have a game called Try Again. Hi again, Lily. Hello, baby girl. I say baby girl. In cat years, you're older than me. You're a middle-aged lady. That's fine. You're still sweet and pretty. And a diva. Anyway, I love Lily. So we will spin the wheel very shortly. Although, I don't want to try that right now. I had too much of the other. So on Thursday, I tried a Mexican street corn flavored trail mix. And it was fine. It was pretty okay. It didn't taste very much like Mexican street corn, but it tasted pretty good, nice and savory. And so I've got this Korean barbecue trail mix back here. You see it right there. And it's probably going to be good, but I had too much of the street corn one today. And so I really don't want to try that. What is this email I just got? Dang it. Okay, it's a question about something I bought from eBay. Yeah, Lily, right up in my face. I hear Paige moving around upstairs. Okay, so let's go ahead and just spin the wheel. See what we get. I was gonna say... This had 0.5% chance of happening. 0.5%. Actually, let me do that math, actually. Hold on. Okay, so I have 43 options that are at a weight of 5. So that's a total of 215 plus a weight of 1 for this end stream, so that's 216. So 44 divided by 216 gives me 0.2. Okay, I was wrong. So it's a 2% chance of happening. Or is that 20? No, okay. My math is wrong here. How do I calculate the percentage? No. Okay, so it's 1 out of 216. That's what it is. So 1 divided by 216 is, there we go. So this right here, this 0 here would be 1% chance. If there were a 1 there. Okay? There's not a 1 there. The rest of this rounds up to 5. So that is a 0.5% chance. Let me just multiply this by 100. So you can see. That is a 0.5. This would be 1% chance. So 0.5% chance of this happening. I don't want to do it. And I have the excuse that there's nobody here to know that I didn't do it. I want to play something. I want to stream. I want to be here. I want to say hi to Errant Knight and or Rubinsky and or Skoogans, potentially, if and when they show up. 0.5%. 0.5%. At the very least, I can just tell it done. I don't want to hide that option because it needs to remain there for the future. Or remove it. What I will do is complain that I can be an idiot sometimes. So, this is completely outside of anything I've talked about before, but we're going to go to localhost 3000, and I'm going to open up my project, and there's not going to be anything there right now. But, let's see. So, none of this is going to mean anything to most people. But hey, if, what's it called? What's his name? Errant Knight comes in. Hey, there's code on the page. Errant Knight sees code in 2 terminals. 2 of them. Okay, anyway. So, what I was working on today in the learning process. Oh, that's not going to work. Hold on. And this. I forgot I used this picture. Okay, I need to make this taller. Give me just a second. Show. That needs to be... We'll make that double height. Refresh this. There we go. And then maybe I need to put the title up above. So what I was working on today was getting this map to display Rubinsky! Watching a movie with friends. It's their birthday! Happy birthday to Rubinsky's friend. Have a good night. So what I was working on today was getting this map to show up here. And to center on the location of the campground that's here. This is all fake information. These are not actual campgrounds. But we're just, you know, doing proof of concept type things and learning how to do this stuff if you had real data. And so the plan was, you know, have this map show up here and have it center on and show the pin for this campground. And I did eventually get there. However, when I first was trying it, I was like, why is this thing not showing up? Why is it not where it's supposed to be? My code looks exactly like the code that Colt has in the instruction video. And I'm, you know, scrolling back and forth. I created a bare bones test page. Where is it? There it is. I created a bare bones test page, which actually, let me visit this here. There's supposed to be that same map here, right? And I was just like, okay, there's nothing else on this page to be interfering with everything. I can see the information that it's supposed to have. I can see in the inspector the code that is supposed to be there. Right here is where the map is supposed to be. All of this stuff it's supposed to display. So the code is there and it's telling me, okay, it's got the width and whatever. And so it's got dimensions and it's supposed to be there. And it took me an entire hour to realize that in the example from the documentation for Mapbox, the service for the map here, they had not explicitly stated, but implied in their example that the map has to have a height object or a height attribute. And I had not specified a height attribute. All I wanted was the map to be all the way across its parent element, all the way across the page, like it is here. All I wanted was for it to be all the way across. And I was assuming it was going to have some kind of default height to it. Nope. It was 0 pixels high. That's why I couldn't see it. It was there. It was just 0 pixels high. No height. So it was not displaying. It took me an entire freaking hour to get around to finding that. And there have been at least 2 other instances where I had to like sleep overnight to figure out the issue that I was having. Okay, so this Chow is named Trebor, which is just Robert backwards. And if you don't know what a Chow is, it's from Sonic Adventure 2? I think it's 2. You know, the Chow Garden might have been in Sonic Adventure 1 too. 1 also. But on the GameCube. And Johnny was streaming this a long time ago, a couple of years ago, several years ago. And I just had this on my desktop. I'm like, okay, I will upload this as the picture for this campground. So that's the Chow named Trebor. It's my name backwards. I had a channel point redemption for it. Lily, this is the 3rd time you've come over here. Come on. You don't need an invitation. You've proved that twice, baby girl. Anyway, so that's what I did today. I spent an hour looking for where I didn't place, 10 characters. "13 characters. Lily, the hair coming off your tail in my face is not pleasant. I don't know. I'll at least... So I landed on end stream. I did do that. Okay, I'm gonna close the process and just minimize this. I landed on end stream. I should do that. I am a rule follower type of person for the most part. But I really want to play something. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to spin again and we'll play whatever comes up. If it lands on end stream again, okay, I got to give it up. I'm sorry. It's not gonna. Adds in 1 minute. Welcome, get out. Okay, what is that one? It's in Steam. Welcome, get out. There it is. Let's install that and look at the store page while it's downloading. It's a puzzle game where the cranky narrator really doesn't like you being there. It is a point-and-click comedy adventure that will take you through 7 different handcrafted levels against the wishes of the sarcastic narrator who's trying to stop you from succeeding. Wonderful. This sounds fun. This sounds like a nice, quick payoff. Let me change my category here. Lily. Welcome, get out. No followers. That is not a surprise. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take that first part out of there. And the quotes. Okay. Welcome, get out. Let us play it. Begin. Okay, please do not...
Don't touch that. Ah, great. Now you've done it.
Now presenting. Welcome. Get out.
I always hated that guy. Well, now that you know this is here, welcome. Now get out. No? Yeah, fine. I now have to present you with a series of puzzles for some dang reason. Well, here's the main menu. I dropped it as a baby, so it may be a little messed up.
Oh.
Well, on to the next task, I guess. Welcome to Rock, Paper, Scissors. You only need to beat me once to win. Too bad that'll never happen. I was a champ back in high school. This is simple enough that even you should be able to handle it. All you have to do is press the button to choose rock, paper, or scissors. Do you think you can handle that? You do know how to press a button, right?
And no matter how many times you do this, you're gonna lose.
You're just as dumb as I thought you would be. Did you get confused about what beats what? Alright, what are you doing? No, stop! You're destroying everything! Just because you can't win doesn't mean you get to throw a temper tantrum. Although, I guess I shouldn't have expected more from someone with such low IQ. Ah, great. Now you have scissors. Didn't your parents ever teach you not to play with scissors? Or are they stupid too?
Wait a minute.
My ribbon! Do you have any idea how long it took me to tie that? Considering I don't have hands? Don't you even think about pressing that.
Or what?
Just close the lid and tie the ribbon back up. It's easy. I'll walk you through it. Slowly, of course. We're both aware of your lack of brain cells. Okay, so the game was a little rigged, but it was built that way. You can't blame me for playing the game the way it was meant to be played. Ugh, fine. You win.
Yay!
Congratulations. Even though you had to cheat, because you're too dumb to win.
I'm the
Alright,
cheater.
let's just move on so that you can leave sooner. Ignore this entire screen. There's nothing here, alright? Nothing. Zilch. Keep it moving. You completely broke the last computer, so I don't even want you touching this one. Do you have any idea how long it's going to take to fix that last machine? Our artists are gonna have a fit. Look, there's nothing interesting here anyway. Just an empty bar and a button that doesn't do anything. So, why don't you go ahead and click that big red X we were talking about earlier? You're terrible at following directions. I doubt you could find your way out of a room with only one exit. Stop that! You an idiot? I told you not to touch anything. Maybe I wanted that bar empty. Did you ever think of that? Seriously, stop clicking that button. Don't make me stop you. I can and will stop you, no matter what. Yeah! How'd you like that? I control everything here. Remember? Oh, that wasn't enough to discourage you. Alright, have another one. I could keep this up all day. You will never get this bar filled. So I may as well just give up now. I can even switch it up if I get bored. See? I've got soccer balls too. Let's see, what else have I got?
What's the puzzle here? What's the gimmick?
Oh, I have this. What is this? Some sort of bouncy ball or something? You're still not gonna stop, are you? I guess I'll have to take more drastic measures. Witness my godlike powers and fear me. I tried to fill the bar while it's on fire. Don't touch my fire. You'll burn yourself. Not that I care, of course. I just thought, so you bested my fire. Whatever. But can you beat this? This ice is completely impenetrable. No clicking it away. No! My eyes! What's happening? Why is it so hot in here? Fine. You know what? I'm taking the button away. So there. Wait, stop it. It's not even a button. Hold on. I have something else to stop you. And it's... okay, you win. On to the next puzzle. There's definitely nothing here. What? You thought you could get in without a key? They should give you the record for the world's smartest person. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, duh, if there's a lock, that must be a key. Well, you're wrong. Hey, you caught me. There's another puzzle. But this is the last one. Okay. have you finally figured it out? Wrong. What's it like having the mental capacity of a 5-year-old? Wanna know a secret? You'll never figure it out, because every minute, I think of a new time. Do you even know how long you've been trying to guess? I actually feel a bit sorry for you. Not. This seems like it's gonna take you a while. I'm gonna go get a sandwich. You want anything? No? God. Oh, so good. The deli across the street makes the best pastrami on rye.
I'm waiting for it to get to oh, crap. Okay.
You know that song from that one game show where the answers are questions? Pretend I'm singing that right now. I would actually sing it, but, you know, copyright and everything, such a hassle. You know what, I'll just whistle some non-copyright music for you. Wait. There we go. That's it.
There's an endpoint to the line right here.
Why don't you check the time?
Oh.
Finally.
Yeah, that did take me a minute. Or a
I
while.
thought we were gonna be here until the end of time. Get it? Time.
Okay, I solved it. Now what?
Grab the gear and let's move on. Oh, this level isn't finished yet. There's some missing pieces, I guess. I don't know. Talk to the devs. Anyway, you solved all the puzzles and beat the game. Hooray for you. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Yada, yada, yada. You're still here? What, you want a medal or something? Alright, fine. Since you want to stick around, we can listen to my favorite song. Get ready to have your ears blessed. Yeah!
Dizzy.
Yeah! It's the best song ever! going on? I just had to check if you could actually hear me, since you never listen. Hey, what are you, no, you're finally gonna, don't bother with anything in there. It's just random junk that, no, don't touch it. Ah, great, now you've done it. Okay, I lied before. Do you even know anything about programming? I'm not kidding. You're way too stupid to understand anything on this. Oh, you figured it out. I wasn't expecting that. Maybe, wow. You got that one too. You're actually pretty good at this. Wait, what am I saying? What are you doing to me? Please, stop. You're gonna ruin the game.
While player.win is false, player.lose is true. Game.giveHint, narrator.mockplayer, return next level. After the while loop. This looks a lot like JavaScript, gotta say. There, okay.
Congratulations! You solved the final puzzle! I should apologize for everything I said earlier. It was really mean, and I didn't mean to offend you. I knew you would get it. You're pretty smart. I really enjoyed playing with you. And I hope you liked the game.
Now introducing the credits.
This is the best screen in the game. Why? Because it lists the names of these amazingly talented people who created this masterpiece. In fact, you should hire all of them immediately.
That's what this is about.
All of those wonderful people are super smart, extremely creative, and fantastically funny. The most wonderful people you'll ever work with. Really. Have you seen this game?
It was fun.
The sound design, the programming, the script, the narrator. Ooh, that's me. Look, that's me. Look at me. You love me. Bottom line, these are the best game developers in the world, and they deserve all the praise and awards.
I mean, I don't know if I would agree with that.
Who are you?
That was interesting. That was definitely worth playing. The Stanley Parable. Is that on my wish list, or do I actually have that? No. Why did I ignore it? Okay, I guess I don't actually have it. Okay, well, it's puzzles where it's not really a game. I don't know. Anyway, that was interesting. That was interesting. There we go. Alrighty. So, Let's see. I'll just go home. There we go. That's what I wanted. Ow, owie, owie, cramp in my back. Cramp in the back. Ouch. Why are you doing that to me? Okay. Now what? Did that take like 15 minutes? Should I spin it again? I don't know. I'm a little bit at a loss because I did hit that end stream and now I'm feeling guilty for not doing it. And I also kind of want to go watch this anime. It's got one of those really long, you know, modern isekai titles. What is it? As a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world. So this Japanese dude, you know, dies and gets reincarnated as a noble in this land that is on the brink of pretty bad civil war. And that's not what I wanted. Why did I do that? It's on the brink of pretty bad civil war. And he has this one ability, only one ability, and no one else has this ability to his knowledge. And he can see the aptitudes and the stats for people. It's an appraisal skill. And he uses that to gather people around him who are really, really exceptional. And they are, every one of them so far has been completely overlooked by the rest of the world. Adds in 1 minute. And that's pretty cool. But there was this episode in the middle where, and this is not a spoiler at all because it's at the beginning of the very first episode, but it doesn't actually happen until halfway through the show. His dad dies, and it's really emotional. He comes back victorious from a war campaign, but he's been sick for a while, and he really was not in any condition to go and lead this campaign. But his son, who was 11, was not prepared to do so. He's only 11, although he was, you know, an adult previously, but he was just like a salaryman, wage slave to the machine, and so he never had any kind of real experience to draw on. So he's basically just an 11-year-old kid with an appraisal skill and who learned to read really, really early. So he was not ready to lead troops in battle. So his dad did, and he exacerbated his condition, and he came back, and he's like, yep, my time is near, I'm done. So he like spent time talking with his vassals and his family through the night, and then he died, and it was really, really emotional. I cried. I'm on the wrong screen. I cried. I can admit it. Not like boo-hoo bawling, but I cried. It was really emotional. So definitely worth watching. But for some reason, I was watching some of it before I started streaming, and for some reason, something about I guess the frame rate on these screens here is better than what I have on my 4K TV upstairs. Now, okay, obviously this one is going to have 120 frames per second, which I don't know what the FPS is on this particular piece of media. Let me see if I can find that. If that information is available. Excuse me. Get info. I see a bit rate. It's 1080p. But I don't see a frame rate. But even on this cheap ass Walmart brand, well, it's on, but that's Walmart, screen, it looked like a goddamn Ghibli movie. And then it was even better over here on the 120 frames per second screen. I'm curious to know what the frames per second are on our TV, because it's 6. No, we got it in Indiana, so it's like 7, 8 years old. And it operates just fine, but I guess the frame rate leaves something to be desired. or at least, you know, it's passable. But apparently there are, you know, noticeable improvements in frame rate, and I'm kind of mad about it. This goes back to being in college, or maybe it was late high school. You know, HDTV was just becoming a real popular, accessible thing. And I had only ever watched 480p TV my whole life. And I couldn't see the hype. No, you get out! You actually missed the game. The whole thing took 10 minutes. Hi, Errant Knight. Do you want to know what I did today? I chased a bug for an hour, and it was 13 characters that I was missing. 13 characters! 14 if you count the semicolon. Good times, yeah. No, so the game was called Welcome Get Out, and it at least it wasn't just a semicolon. That's true. JavaScript, honestly, at least with at the end of the line with the semicolons, is really forgiving. It's not actually required. But yeah, in like within a loop or whatever, you have to have that semicolon, and I don't know if I've ever missed something like that, but it was something really obvious. So let me get the server restarted here. Let me just show you. So on this page is supposed to be a map box map, right? And if I inspect it, inspect, we can see, that's not it. We can see in the HTML, there is, this map div, and it's got some stuff in it, and it's got properties and whatever, and it's, it's working with the JavaScript that's loaded in the header and the footer and whatever. So it's there, it's on the page, but I can't see it. It's invisible. Couldn't figure out why. Took me over an hour, over an hour to realize that in the documentation, in the example they give, they have a separate style tag that defines both a width and a height. I did not define a height here. So my map was 0 pixels tall. So it was there. There was just nothing to see. Now there we go. So I gotta go to the bottom here. This is the only one that actually has a map. So I got that fixed, and now I've, got the map on the page, and it's, does all the things. But this is the Chow, by the way. This is Johnny's Chow named Trebor. Anyway, so I needed to add a height attribute. And that's like the third time something simple like that has screwed me up on relearning this course. Anyway, I'm sorry to expose you to a editor while you're not working. Apologies. Also, Errant Knight, something you might want to know is that I landed on Endstream a while ago. It was a 0.5% chance. I calculated it out. It was actually like a 0.4. It was like a 0.46 whatever percent chance, and so it rounds up to a half. And I decided to ignore it because no one was here. No one was going to be able to know unless I told them, which I just did. And what am I trying to say? I decided to spin it again, and I played that Welcome Get Out. Right? 0.5%. I played that Welcome Get Out. That was interesting. And now I'm wondering if I ought to just go ahead and shut it down. Now that I did that and I broke my rule and you're here and I told somebody, and maybe I should do that. I'm a little torn because I want to continue spinning the wheel. But I also want to go and watch this anime that's got one of those really long isekai anime titles. The type that's in vogue right now. Excuse me. It's my stream, do what I want. It's my stream and I'll shoot. And if I want to, that's not quite as catchy. I don't know what I want to do. That's the thing. I'm a little torn. Because part of me, the rule-following part of me says I landed on it, I need to quit the stream. I got reincarnated as a chef in an orc village and they don't know how to use soy sauce. I believe that's a real thing. If you I am not even going to look it up. I believe that that show exists. I've never heard of it, but I believe it exists. It isn't, but it probably will, given time. Yeah, okay. You should write that. Because all of these isekai anime with really long names, they start as web novels. They start as web novels, and then they either get a manga or an anime or both. Or they get a manga and then an anime. Now, I realize, like, you're not Japanese and you don't have connections with people that would turn it into a manga or whatever. But why do isekai worlds not know how to use spices? That's true. Like, why is that a trope? Yes, that is a very good question. And like, they're not going to necessarily develop the same spices, or, you know, soy sauce or ketchup or whatever, but like fragrant plants that, you know, are, you know, a lot of these isekai worlds have like medicinal plants. Why are they not using them in cooking? I can understand they don't have soy sauce in particular, but they don't know how to use salt or pepper or whatever this herb is that smells nice, or, you know, I mean, that's most of it. Whatever this herb is that smells nice. That's a lot of seasonings. Or literally anything. Yeah. Yeah. But it's because a lot of these web novels are written by semi-educated people. A lot of them probably pretty young, or pretty sheltered, or like hikikomori types that don't have, you know, much experience outside of, you know, in real life, or are not particularly well read. And like, I'm not trying to put these people down. It's just that they don't have experience or knowledge to draw upon for these things. And the type of audiences that they're appealing to and that the anime and everything are made for. My nose is so freaking itchy, and it only does this while I'm streaming. Are similar people. Which, you know, I kind of appreciate this one that I was watching. It's called As a Reincarnated Aristocrat, I'll Use My Appraisal Skill to Rise in the World. Because, like, the food is fine and it looks well cooked in seasons and whatever. Yeah, creativity is hard, but, like, why are your isekai people stupid? Right. Well, okay. That may get into something along the lines of Japanese supremacism. I've never been to Japan. I can't say I'm an expert on Japanese culture, but I've seen a lot of anecdotal stuff about how Japanese people as a whole are fairly supremacist. And in fact, that was a big factor in why they were kind of bad guys in World War II, and one, honestly, between 1 and 2, is that they were, you know, imperialist, and, you know, they were, you know, Asia for the Asians and whatever. And so they're like, yeah, you know, we're better, we're going to be in charge. And even today, the culture of, you know, gaijin, you know, foreigners, they are looked down upon. Fine, you don't like Western or African cultures, but we figured out how to flavor our food. Well, not all Western cultures. The Americans sure did, but I've seen a post a few times that, you know, somebody posts their English dinner that's just a bunch of boiled crap. Boiled sausage, boiled cabbage, boiled potatoes, maybe with some salt. And someone commented on it, why do British people eat like the Luftwaffe is still flying overhead? And it's so true. The British don't count. That's true. All of Europe, well, okay, maybe some of the Nordic countries don't have very good seasoning, minus like salt or whatever, because they just can't grow it. They don't have access to it. Or they didn't historically. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of fermented things and preserved things and whatnot. But, you know, the British took over most of the world because of spices, and then they don't use them. They decided they didn't like them. Spices and gold and silver, but and slaves. But those are the main things. But yeah, the rest of the West and, you know, everywhere, honestly, they use spices. And in fact, I tried writing a story one time and I got some feedback about how soap, various forms of soft soaps or Bastille soaps have been in existence since antiquity, which is like BC, thousands of years BC. So people are not stupid. Even if they're like primitive, they're not dumb. You saw someone show off their chicken and rice, really pleased with their stuff, and it cut to another white guy who was standing in front of his spice cabinet and is like, I just want to be like, yes, I'm white, but I'm non-practicing. Nordic cultures might not use plant spices, but boy, they sure ferment everything. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And they make cheese. Well, maybe not Nordic, but like Northeastern European. There's cheese. Hydrate or dehydrate, I left my water bottle upstairs. I'm going to sip my... This is not whiskey. This is actually rum. This is Kraken. Because I'm almost out of whiskey, and I don't want to just use it all up. Yeah, I don't have any water. I feel bad. That's 2 streams in a row I have left my water bottle upstairs. I just need to get a desk water bottle and have it stay here. I need to go spend like $3 on a 1-liter smart water bottle. How much is a 1-liter smart water at my local Dillon's? Let's find out. Smart water 1 liter. I don't need a case of smart water 1 liters. I don't need a case. I don't need Nestle Pure Life. I don't need a 1.5 liter. Just a 1 liter. I don't need a 12-pack of 1 liters. Okay, fine. Let's take off the 1 liter and just search smart water. What you're getting at, with the exception of maybe modern British boiling everything into a paste, we mostly figured out how to cook. We like good food too. We don't need Japanese NEAT to isekai into New York to show us the joy of soy sauce. Correct. But you would kind of be entertained by the manga. That was the plot. Yes. Now, I will say orcs, I can't imagine would season their food very much. They wouldn't have, what's the word? Stereotypically, orcs are not going to be into making their food taste better. They just want to eat as much of it as they can. Oh, you mean a manga about a Japanese person isekaiing into an alternative New York and trying to be like, hey, here's soy sauce. And they're just like, we know how to cook, sir. I don't need a 700 ml. I don't need a 20 ounce. There we go. 1 liter, 250. Okay. Jeebus. In your D&D game, orcs prefer strong flavors and are pretty big into hot peppers. Really? Now, is that like canonical D&D monster manual, or is that in your particular campaign? Either way's fine. Either way's nice. Because, like, there's sentient or semi-sentient. I guess it depends. It's not D&D, but it's implied in a Pathfinder supplement, and you ran with it. Okay. I can believe it, particularly because they're so strong and, seemingly immune to a lot of things. They're sentient, just violent assholes. Okay. That's not always the case in stories I've read, but yeah. What was I going to say? I can imagine that being a thing because with their senses kind of dulled in order to not feel quite as much pain, that would make total sense. I don't know. How has your weekend been, Errant Knight? What did you get up to? I worked yesterday. I was telling a story about how on Tuesday, I spent 3.5 hours putting 11 cats onto our website and printing flyers for them to put in the information book we have. Things are a little less cut and dry in your campaign. The PC Adventurer Guild literally has a goblin butler. Okay. I would be interested to see that, too. Goblin Butler. Dude, okay, so thinking about goblins makes me think about Goblin Slayer. And that was brutal! That was my introduction to anime that looks really, really good, but God is so brutal. Mostly sat around depressed, but you're getting by. I am sorry that your job sucks, man. I'm sorry that work is terrible. Goblin Slayer is harsh, particularly in the first season. Yeah, I'm not even sure I made it through 3 episodes. You know, there's the really, really cute cleric girl, bubbly, whatever. And it's visually a very pretty anime, but they just use all that prettiness and detail to make shit really, really rough. I'm not even sure I made it through 3 episodes. That scene with the newbie adventurers going after the goblins and everything that happened to them, damn. Ugh. And what happened to his older sister? Okay, I gotta stop thinking about that. In a similar vein, I got pulled in by the wandering. The priestess has avoided anything super awful so far, besides pissing herself in episode 1. I don't remember that. She did get injured at some point. Was it like a maiming injury or like a scar or like what kind of injury? I guess I don't actually care that much. But another one that kind of bait and switched me was the Wandering Witch Elena. Very pretty, cute protagonist. The whole training arc with her mentor. She got bitten by a hobgoblin and needed healing. Who provided the healing? I'm assuming she wasn't able to heal herself for whatever reason. She was out of mana. It's a rule. You can't heal yourself or something. Anyway, Wandering Witch Elena, it's super cute, and it starts out pretty bubbly, and the training arc and everything, and then she goes out into the world, and all these terrible things are happening, and she's just like, huh, isn't that a thing? And then just leaves. Not doing jack shit about it, not hardly being affected by it at all. And I'm just like, I don't like this. And then there was, oh, what was that one that I read some spoilers about it, and I'm glad I didn't watch this. What was it called? I'm gonna have to look this up. Anime where guy cheats on his girlfriend, and we'll just start with that. I don't want to do the spoiler necessarily. Yeah. That's not the one. You know, maybe I shouldn't do images about this. School Days. That's the one. School Days. She and Goblin Slayer. Hold on. Start over. The Sword Maiden healed them. Okay. The blind super cleric lady. She and Goblin Slayer were dragged back to town injured. Gotcha. Okay. Well, at least they survived. But yeah, School Days. Sounds like a really, you know, innocuous anime, and it's this guy, and he's got this crush on this girl, and then they end up going out, and then he cheats on the girl, and then there's the Goblin Butler. You made a miniature? Gotta see this. It's not loading. There it is. Look at him. That's cool. Oh, hold on. You designed this? That's really neat. I've seen something else in this platform. What was it? The platform that he's standing on is familiar. What have I seen? Using this tool, Hero Forge is fun. Huh! That's neat. Sorry, ads. I didn't warn you. My bad. Let's just grab a generic female human with green skin. No, give me that goblin back. Turtle person. Can't find the goblin. Go back. Load the config. There he is. Anyway, School Days. Don't watch it, is the short version. I haven't quite been taken in that far by much else. It's just been those three. No. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in the dungeon? Because that one started out really happy-go-lucky as well, and then it's some of the most dark and messed up psychological stuff that I've seen. I don't like these anime. Yes, there's a lot of pretty girls, and, you know, they all love the guy and whatever, but there's a lot of messed up stuff too. Anyway, so I will always disrecommend for people who don't want to feel bad while watching their anime. Goblin Slayer, Wandering Witch Elena, School Days, and Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon? Because that one, it's so slow. It's so sneaky with how it gets into all the dark crap. The psychological trauma. It took like 2.5 seasons for me to realize, hey, I'm not enjoying this anymore. Why am I still here? You still there, Aaron Knight? It would feel really weird to call you by what I believe your name is. Honestly. I'm pretty sure I know what your name is. You're back. Okay. So yeah, Goblin Slayer, Wandering Witch Elena, School Days, and Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon? Maybe the first season of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls? Steve is your name, but Aaron's just fine. Okay. Yeah, I end up saying the whole Errant Knight rather than just Errant. I don't know. I'll figure it out in my head. And yes, I was correct about Steve being your name. Errant Knight, yeah. You'll answer to hey you probably. I was more thinking about like shortening what I said for no particular reason. Yeah. Hey you. Most people will, honestly. And most people tell me, yeah, I'll answer to hey you. And I would probably never say that. Oh, right. I was talking about, hey, Aaron. Yeah, Aaron, Steve, whatever. So I'm relearning the web development stuff that I sort of learned like 5 years ago when I first lost my job before we decided, okay, I can be a house spouse. In order to try to help myself with my current job, honestly, because we had 11 cats come into the cafe and I needed to get them onto the website and then print out these posters for them to put in our information books with a QR code for people to scan and submit an adoption application. And that took 3.5 hours, and I did the math, and that's like 20 minutes per cat. And that's honestly not too much, and I could probably cut that down to like 15, but not much more, or much less, I mean. And I'm hoping to be able to write like a command line something or a button somewhere to be able to do that for me in a few seconds. And I believe I have the ability to do so. Or I will have the ability to do so once I learn about like making commits and pushing them to like a hosting service. Where I'm getting myself a little bit messed up, is that I'm having ideas way above my skill level, such as the booking system that we have to use, or that we have found that does the minimum of what we need it to do, is, you know, clunky, and it's not exactly conducive to the way our business works and whatnot. And I keep having these ideas of, you could make a better one. You could make one that would work for all kinds of cat cafes. And just, no, that's just way above my pay grade. That would take teams, multiple teams of people to pull off, who are much smarter and talented, more talented than I am. Dream big. Yeah, no, I don't have the capital to dream that big. You'd have to hire people. Although I suppose I could make a proof of concept, like a poorly performing insecure mess proof of concept, and maybe sell the idea to somebody or get hired to do it. Although I don't want to do this full time. I really don't. I do not want to be a developer full time. But maybe sell the idea to somebody or sell the prototype. I remember when I learned back in high school that the original developer of DOS sold it to Jobs and Wozniak for... No, not Jobs and Wozniak. Was it Jobs and Wozniak? Gates and Wozniak. I don't know. Sold it to Microsoft for like 50 grand. Okay, Stream Elements, that was too fast. It has not been 15 minutes. Or if it has, you waited like 2 hours. No, sorry, an hour and 15 minutes for the first one. So you're getting really, really inconsistent. Anyway. Anyway, sold DOS for like 50 grand, which, you know, in the 80s is going to be a good bit of money, but it's not the billions and trillions that Microsoft has made and is worth now. Yeah. But you know what? I'd be willing to sell some kind of prototype like that for 50 grand and just not have to build the rest of it myself. And we could just do that. No. 50 grand would be a low ball for this. Well, depending. I don't know. I'd have to do some research, but like, why am I thinking so seriously about this? Aaron Knight, I don't need to think in this direction. This is above my skill level. I don't even know a front-end framework. Just get on Fiverr. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Pay some poor Indian guy to make this. I would have to be very, very specific in how to define how this would work. And it would end up costing so much money. And I don't have the money to pay it. And my bosses would not be willing to pay that either. So it's really just a nice dream. It's a thought. But I do have the ability, I believe, to build a thing that will build an iframe to just throw into our website that will grab information about the cats via the API from the management system that the foster organization uses. There is an API interface. I would need a key, which I have, and then I would need to parse the JSON and then plug that information into an HTML template and then serve that to be an iframe in the website. And that doable. I can do that. And then I would also need to take that same information, generate a QR code, and probably just plug that into a different HTML template that would then be saved as a PDF and then print that. Everything Everywhere All at Once is so good, but it hurts so much. I've heard really, really good things about it, but it's a lot of drama, and I'm not a big fan of drama, especially like interpersonal drama. So it's not really my cup of tea, but I'm glad you're enjoying it, Rubinsky, or that you enjoyed it. Nowhere's actually playing that right now. You guys just watched that like in somebody's house or something, right? And happy birthday to your friend. I don't know if you heard me say that earlier, but hi. Now, the worst kind of drama is miscommunication in a drama. In a comedy, that shit is gold. But in a drama, miscommunication contrived between people causing conflict, that's bullshit. That people are not going to misunderstand things the way that they do in soap operas and books and whatnot. Doesn't actually happen. But in comedy, misunderstanding something and doing something in a really wrong way, and it turns out really funny and it was not at all what was intended or expected, that's good shit. But, you know, I said something and you misconstrued what I said, and all of this other bullshit happened because of something that I said is dumb. And the kind of people who might actually do that, I don't want anything to do with. I don't want to see about them, hear about them, nothing. Because the average normal person is going to be like, the fuck did you say? Did you really mean whatever? Or, huh? And then they'll repeat it or rephrase it or whatever. And like, oh, okay, I gotcha. Like, we're still mad at each other, maybe. But, you know, I didn't say And I don't even know how to come up with contrived bullshit like that. And I guess that's maybe a failure of imagination for me. And it really would be a failure because that kind of shit sells for some reason. I know the reason. I know the reason. I learned this in school, and it's one of the truths that has stuck with me for, was it 13 years now? I graduated in 2012. So 12 years now. That drama and like reality TV sells because even the trashiest people can look at that and say, at least I'm not that bad. And have a laugh at these people that are probably a lot like them, but more publicly worse about it. Okay, that was my little rant for the moment. Don't let my dreams be memes. I don't know. Rubinsky, I confessed this to Errant Knight, but you missed it. I spun the wheel earlier. Where is my cursor? There it is. I spun the wheel earlier, and it landed on end stream. It did. There was a 0.5% chance. A 0.46% chance. And it landed on it. And I should have ended it, but here I am, like, an hour later. Oh well. Alright, so that Welcome Get Out, that can come off the list there, because I tried that, and I finished it, because it was like a 10-minute little demonstration project by some Chinese game development students. Who managed to hire a fluent English voice actor, which was nice. He's not, you know, the best voice actor I've ever heard, but it was definitely not, like, weirdly translated and spoken. I'm getting jowls. I'm aging. I'm not a fan. I was talking to my bosses yesterday about our youngest employee, who I didn't realize is only 16. She mentioned, I started driving, and so I can get myself to work and get myself home, and my parents don't have to be involved in that, so that's nice. And I'm like, wait a minute, how old are you? I am literally more than twice this girl's age. And I was talking to my bosses, and they mentioned, like, yeah, Ruby's great. We love her. She has experience with, like, volunteering at the Humane Society, and she knows about cleaning and health checks, and she's great at all that, and we're lucky to have her, and we appreciate her. However, she needs confidence. She needs, you know, to be able to speak up and communicate well and whatnot. And I said, yeah, that's true. She's a quiet girl, but, you know, that kind of confidence comes with experience, and you're not gonna have that kind of experience yet at 16. And I hate that I'm old enough to know that. Ah! I'm just gonna give myself more silver hairs. There's a whole bunch here, and then right up here by my temple there's a few, and then there's, you know, sprinkled about, and I've got a scar. I don't know if you guys can see. It's not in focus. There's a scar right there that I've had since I was an infant that used to be like half an inch behind. Hold on, there we go. It used to be like half an inch behind my hairline, and now it's visible. Gray hair on your head didn't bother you. It's the gray hair on your chest that's upsetting you.
I don't think I have any yet. Hold on, that might be one. Unless it's just reflecting funny. Or unless it's a cat hair. That might be a gray chest hair. God dang it, Errant Knight.
Why did you make me look at that? Gray nose hair is insulting. The worst part is actually, for me, it's gonna be the gray hair coming out of my ears. Because my grandpa has that crap. And that... he is the definition of old to me. I know you didn't make me, but, like, you triggered the desire to do so. You don't have those, but you do have way more ear hair now. Yeah, there's, like, a couple. that are like sticking out, and it gets annoying. That's the main thing. It gets annoying. Like a cat hair will land on one, or like I'll be laying down on the pillow and one of them will get tweaked funny. It'll make it all itchy and whatever. You want to laser it off. That's, you know what? That would be about what, no, that's not true. I was going to say that would be what the main thing that I would want to use laser for as well. However, two things to note. One is that laser is not permanent. It's not. It lasts 6 to 8 weeks, which they don't tell you. They imply that it's permanent, but no, it's 6 to 8 weeks. You can't manage it in a way that's not painful or risking cuts. Like shaving it, yeah. I, like, every once in a while, I'll just, like, grab it as well as I can with my nail and just, like, yank. But laser is not permanent. You want electrolysis, which actually they have 2 diodes that they put into the hair follicle and zap it and kill the hair follicle one by one at a time. What was I going to say? So laser is not permanent. And then also, for me, if I was going to get any kind of hair removal, it would be starting right here down to like here. It's backwards. It's weird. But like from here up to like right above, right above my Adam's apple, like an inch below where my facial hair is like trimmed right here. Because that is where I get all of my nicks and cuts, because it grows like every which way and trying to get the razor and, and so I end up cutting myself all over the place. If it could afford it, there'd be a lot more, but the ear hair is the annoying you the most. Okay. I mean, yes, that's true. Excuse me. For me, it would be down here. The ear hair is not nearly as big of a deal. It might become a bigger deal, but since I was 20 or something, I've been like, God, I want to get rid of this. It's like 15 years now. I wish I could afford it too. But yeah, you want electrolysis, not laser. Because it is permanent. Now, it's not like foolproof. If they don't like zap it correctly, it might grow back, whatever. They just have to redo it. And it is kind of painful from what I understand. Hi, Lily. I heard about some acquaintance of mine had an acquaintance that worked at a dentist office. And for her electrolysis treatments for her upper lip, she had the dentist inject her to numb her lip so that she could have a longer session at once and get it done faster. Oh, ads again. Hi, Lily. This is the 4th time you've been up here tonight. Number 4. I want a snack. I want like a Hostess or Little Debbie cake. I don't have any. The closest thing I have to something irresponsibly sweet like that is like a Pop-Tart, but they're strawberry Pop-Tarts. And I will take almost any flavor above strawberry. Now, strawberry is not bad. It's not like I have anything negative about strawberry. It's just like my least favorite of like sweets flavors. Blueberry might be below strawberry. But that I would very much prefer something like cherry or s'mores or something. But even then, that's not really hardly a dessert. I want like cake. Something soft to chew on. I don't know. Probably I'm just thirsty. I haven't had any water in like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I probably just need to hydrate. Do I have anything similar to water down here? I have Fresca, but that's like one of the most expensive things that I have to drink. It's flavored, sweetened, sparkling water. But Fresca is like $10 for Pepsi and Coke 12 packs. I remember not even 2-3 years ago paying $6 and $7 and thinking that was a lot. I am not buying any 12 packs for a while until that price can come down. If that price comes down, I'll stick to my soda stream. Fraction of that price. $10 for a damn 12-pack of soda. I'm sounding very boomer right now, but god damn. There used to be deals for 3 12-packs for like 10 or 11. Yeah, miss me with that. That's why we got the soda stream, because things were getting more expensive, and then now like I almost refuse to buy them at all. And Paige has gone along with that really well. She'll have 1 Mountain Dew Code Red on Saturday. That's like a treat. And I very appreciate her putting up with that. But yeah, she used to have one like every day. So that would be, you know, almost one, more than one every 2 weeks. That's a ridiculous amount of money to spend on soda. And then the Frescas in between there intermittently. So yeah. I'm not spending $20 or more a month on soda. Cost them pennies. Pennies! Sorry, Lily. Anyway, I think I have old man ranted enough. I think I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Let's look at the game that's coming up free on Thursday. I believe I glanced at it. There's an Apex pack. Yeah, there's an Apex Legends cosmetics pack or something. Conduit free unlock bundle. I don't know what that means. And then there's this Signy, all guns blazing. It looks like it's a fighter jet sim. That looks really cool. That is honestly a really impressive thumbnail. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and download this before they change it for the release. Let me go, because that's impressive. I want that poster. Now, Epic has taken to hiding their images within a div that makes you want to right click and save the div instead of the image. Let's see, video projects. What is it called again? File operations on this computer, I don't know why, are being stupid slow. Signy, all guns blazing. CYGNI. So making a new folder and renaming it and whatnot, something is wrong with it on this computer, and I don't know what to do about it. Stills. It might have something to do with the fact that there's a whole bunch of media on this drive, and it's an external drive. You know what? Now that I think about it, that's probably what's happening. Anyway, poster. Save that poster. That is a really impressive poster. Okay, let's look at this trailer while I read the blurb here. An unrelenting onslaught of eye-popping visuals, ear-bursting soundscapes, and mind-melting action makes Signy the vanguard for the next generation of shoot-'em-ups. Outgunned, outmanned, and out on your own, plunge into a sky full of hell in a last-ditch battle for survival. Okay, it's a bullet hell. Gotcha. It's a very, very pretty bullet hell. That's a very pretty bullet hell, but it's just a bullet hell. It's a Galaga thing. And that's, I don't know, we'll try it. Okay, so that's coming up on Thursday. As well as DNF Duel. I don't know what this means. Oh, it's like a Street Fighter clone. Action fighting at its extreme. Enter the new beat-em-up world of Arad as your favorite character from the beloved Dungeon and Fighter franchise. Not familiar with that one. Dungeon and Fighter. So that's what the DNF means. Okay, so 2 games I'm not particularly excited about. This is a $50 game? They're charging $50 for a game full of characters that I don't know how many people have heard of. And how much is Signy? It's coming soon. It's not even out yet, so I have no idea. The internet has brought you this question. Is scrambled eggs just fried chicken? Depends on how you cook them. If you use oil to cook your eggs, then yes. But if not, then no. I don't get into these existential kind of questions. Okay, let's uninstall Lumberjack. And I'll go ahead and uninstall Arcade Paradise because I never have actually gone back to play it. Thief, I do still want to play more of. I'm gonna leave it for now. Yeah, so that's that. That's what's coming up on Thursday. We've got an Apex pack that I'm not even gonna play. It's not an existential style question. If chickens are descendants of dinosaurs, then modern dino nuggets are in fact dino nuggets. Correct. I have no argument there. And also, have you seen the one about if dinosaurs are made of plastic and plastic is made of oil and oil is made of dinosaurs, then plastic dinosaurs are real dinosaurs? Maybe existential is the wrong word. The ones that pretend to be deep but aren't really. Genius. Yeah, that's not my post. I steal like a quarter of what I say from the internet. So you watched Everything Everywhere All at Once with friends for somebody's birthday. That wasn't like showing anywhere at a theater. You guys just like watched that together at somebody's house or something? I need to find the model of my TV and look up the frame rate because let me just play. I can't do that. Well, okay, I'm going to kill my music and I'm going to play copyrighted content. So let me just do that real quick. Let's resume this. Not very loud. I need to turn it up. But there's a spot earlier in the episode where she's running. There we go. They're all running. And like, this is only a 30 frames per second show. But for some reason on this 120 hertz screen, what am I trying to say? It looks better than on my damn 4K TV upstairs. But, and it's funny. You get that you're not sure if you've ever had an original thought. You know what? Me neither. We're all just an amalgamation of everything we've experienced, so that's fine. I don't know if there are any original thoughts anymore. Anyway, so this looks way better to me on this screen. I don't know what kind of screen you guys are watching on, than my TV upstairs. There we go. That's a good spot for me to resume that later. The anime is called... Shoot, I accidentally closed it and lost my music too. Let me get that going again. It's called As a Reincarnated Aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world. Now, I'm about to save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, okay? I'm going to introduce you to the site where I download all my anime. The legality is questionable. So if you're not a yo-ho type person, maybe I'm not going to save you any money. But that link there, I've been getting anime from there for years now. Only within the last year or so have there been ads put onto the site. Previous to that, I never saw an ad. And he hosts everything on Google Drive, and I believe he's got probably thousands of accounts. Or I don't know where he's getting any kind of money to like pay for the storage on Google Drive for these things, but almost any anime you can... Gray sites. This is a gray site. I would call this a gray site. Anyway, almost any anime you can think of, and then you can request anime through Discord. It used to be a form on the site. Now it's a Discord message. But last I saw, and I don't think anything has changed, he's in the hospital. So the site maintenance has set by the wayside. Oh, no, he's back. Okay. Oh, and now reporting dead links is to a Gmail account. There you go. So I'm not going to say the name of the site out loud just to potentially protect the site. I know it's like in plain text there in the chat and then, you know, down on my overlay. But so much anime. This is where I get my anime. If there's ever been anything that I didn't have, I requested it, and I think it ended up showing up a couple of weeks later. I don't know where he's getting this stuff. He's probably... You use one with GoGo? You're gonna have to send me a DM to explain that, because I'm not familiar with that. But, you know, there's all of Fairy Tail on there, all of Dragon Ball, all of Dragon Ball, all of Sailor Moon, and I know those are all really old. And like even currently airing stuff is on there right away, and even so it's originally like, you know, subbed, and then even once the dubbed version comes out, it'll get updated on there. Go. Let me glance at that. Is it a .com? It's not a .com. Okay, so you watch online. Are you downloading it? I download it all so that I can put it on my Plex server. Sure, it has ads, but you use an ad blocker. Yeah, exactly. Be very careful. Has a lot of scam sites. Is it .org with an S? Go Animes. Oh, it says it's offline. Yeah, you can just DM me the link. But the Kaio, this one is great. I have 0 complaints about it. Okay, yeah, that's not the one I was on. Now, there was a notice at the top that said Cloudflare said, yeah, this site is down right now. Okay, let me at least open this. Okay, so that's the same site. It just has moved since that Cloudflare thing. Okay. It would take a little bit to get used to this layout, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff on here. Okay. It's a little bit more of the like, I guess, popular in Japan type stuff. The site I sent is, I don't know, at least on the homepage, it's the stuff that looks like it's popular in Japan. I don't know, but if you're happy with that, it's okay. For anybody else, there you go. There's 2 sites where you can get anime. Can you download from there? I didn't look very well. Is that a thing? Download. There's a button right there. Okay. And you watch it right there on the... Okay. Cool. You never tried? But there is a button. I saw a button. So, either way. You can't watch on the one I sent. It's only downloads, and it's only through Google Drive. So, now some of them you have to join a Google group, but it's stupid simple. You like to stream, it feels safer. Valid. Really, where the authorities and the copyright owners get mad at people is the people that are doing the distributing, the sharing. Yes, it's, you know, questionably legal to consume any of that, but what they really care about is the people that are sharing it. So we're probably fine. Also, I've got a VPN running on my server, and it's routed through, I think, Texas right now, but it could be anywhere. So they have no way of identifying me, and, you know, every time I'm in there, I use an anonymous browser, and, you know, there's no session logs or anything, so it's fine. All they can ever prove is that I visited the site sometimes on a non-protected private browser. And, you know, fuck corporations. Anyway, so Thursday, don't worry, your dad called the FBI to ask if what you were doing was legal when you were like 11. And they said no. Did he really? The most EULAs say we don't own anything, so is taking it really stealing? Oh, and that's okay. So that's one of my main arguments against piracy, like hurting anybody, because piracy is not stealing; it's making a copy. He really did that. I mean, I guess there are like local FBI offices probably in each state, huh? Yeah. Yeah, as far as the EULAs, even for like media that you've purchased, all you've purchased is the right to use that media as long as it's available on that service. Here's the other thing. You definitely wouldn't end up paying for them So me not watching it legally would not result in them in a loss of money. Yes, that's the other argument about piracy. It's like, I wasn't going to pay for this anyway, regardless. So you're not missing any money from me. Now, that is not true of everybody who's consuming this media. And especially not of the people distributing it. But it's corporations. I don't care. It's not hurting anybody but some CEO's next yacht. That's all it's hurting. It's not hurting the production team that already made it and already got paid for it. It's not hurting... that's the main thing. That's all I would care about, is the actual people, the individuals who made it. They already got paid for it. Corporations are people according to the law. Yes, I know. God. That is one of the greatest legal travesties ever. We're not even going to go into that. Anime definitely didn't distract you from doing what you needed to do. They should pay you reparations. Did I read the second half of that statement? Yes, about Texas and executions. And man, you know what? That would be something to see. How would Texas execute a corporation? If a corporation could not be taken to court and tried and arrested, they are not people. I mean, tell that to the Supreme Court. Or whatever court it was that made that ruling. No, like, I don't worry. Okay, I came to the conclusion a little bit ago that, and this is kind of an extension and endpoint of like capitalism and whatnot. I've had Crunchwraps more supreme than this court. It's not an original thought either. But okay, so like we're destroying the planet. That's the short version. Or we're destroying the biosphere. The planet's fine. Our current Supreme Court is definitely out of control. Yes. And we are past the average longevity of a civilization. There are some that lasted a whole bunch longer, like Egypt and like some of the first Ottoman and Roman empires. But other than that, most distinct civilizations last somewhere between 200 and 400 years. So we're around there. But anyway, so like we're destroying the planet. It's actually not surprising from a biological perspective. Any species would if they had the ability to do so. We are just the only species to recognize that it's a bad thing. And then to ignore that recognition. But like ants, if they had the ability, they would consume everything on the planet. They would. So would, different plant-eating species and probably most other primates and whatnot. Any species would make itself, if they could, so dominant that they destroyed everything else and then themselves. Any species would do that. So I have a mild amount of comfort in that realization. Doesn't make it any less bad that it's happening. And any less worse that we recognize it and it's being ignored. Thank you for counting the kitty. This is the 5th time she's jumped up here tonight. Mwah. Anyway, and so as far as the corporations being legally people, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it, so I'm going to try not to stress about it very much. Excuse me. Hey, look at that. It's 9 o'clock. It's normal stream ending time anyway. Thank you for hanging out, Rubinsky and Air at Night. I'll stick around for a few more seconds to make sure I can actually say bye to you guys. I will. You baby girl. Meow. You're very pretty and sweet. Oh, you're still there. You can hear me. Wiggle the tail. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. think that's how it goes. Lily, what you want me to do to like tuck you under my arm and just scrub your face nonstop, I can't do right now. I don't have a lap to put you on and tuck you under my arm. So you're just gonna have to kind of put up with what I can do. Okay, welcome back from ads. Rubinsky, Aaron Knight, thank you for coming in. I always appreciate talking to you guys. It's fun to find like-minded people and just shoot the shit. If I'm ever in West Pennsylvania or Southern Florida, I will definitely try to find you guys. You have to expand the picture-in-picture to see me during ads, which shows up in the middle of your primary monitor, which isn't always able to be used. It's funny having multiple monitors. I have 4. One of which is like facing that way for me to actually game on. Hey! Thank you, Anonymous, whose name starts with R and ends or rhymes with Ubinsky. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You'll be in Louisville this weekend, but busy with family and can't drive out to me. I mean, like, Louisville is like a 9-hour drive from here. Do not do that. Yeah, don't do that. But, or 10, depending on stops. Anyway, there is a non-zero chance that Paige is getting a job in Western, 7.5 to Kansas City. Yeah, but then it's like an additional hour here. Which, you know what? I would be definitely willing to go to Kansas City or even like potentially St. Louis. Nope. I don't want to drive in or through St. Louis if I can help it. St. Louis is bad to drive through. So Kansas City, I would definitely meet you there. We could go to the cafe there and I could steal ideas. But like non-zero chance we'll be moving to Western Indiana, Terre Haute, which is the city where Paige's alma mater is, Rose Holman Institute of Technology, which I have never heard of and probably most people haven't. It's a STEM school. Or STEAM, I guess. No, I don't even think they have an arts program, so it's still just STEM. Anyway, non-zero chance we'll be moving there for a new job. She has an on-site interview. I don't know exactly when, but she needs to get herself there. And, you know, it's just across Missouri. It's like right on the edge of Missouri and Indiana. So there's no point in flying because she would have to fly to Indianapolis and then drive back this direction an hour. No point. And I don't know exactly when that's happening. I need to clear that up with her. Anyway, so we'll be a little bit closer to people, but that's still like, even to get to Western Pennsylvania, that would be across all of Indiana and all of Ohio, let alone to South Florida. But I'm going to ask her and pressure her again, like, hey, find something in Florida, please. That would be the dream. Driving to or through Ohio is sadness. Yes, thank you, Anonymous, for gifting the sub. That isn't terrible. It's enough of an excuse for you to go to Pittsburgh and drive to, what, Terre Haute? You'd have to drive across all of Ohio and all of Indiana. And actually, most of Pennsylvania. Wait, where is Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh. Hold on. Okay, now Pittsburgh's Western Pennsylvania, but still! Terre Haute is 6.5 hours. It's nothing. Is someone else in Pittsburgh or near? Rubinsky says he has friends and family there. It's like a drive to Jacksonville. Easy. Okay, so being an American, I'm coming to realize is more and more absurd. Just because it's so fucking huge. You can fit almost the entirety of Europe, especially if you rearrange things, in our country. And that's not to say anything of Canada and then Alaska. Now, much more of our country is habitable and inhabited than Canada. Jem is in Pittsburgh. Or, well, actually, I don't know exactly where she is, but she's near-ish to Errant Knight and Axie. I haven't seen Axie in a while. I've not really been hanging out in anybody else's streams either. I just have limited time to do anything, and watching streams is not high on that list. It wasn't really You weren't really counting her in this case, even though Gem is cool. She is so cool. I really, really like her emote. That's the apple in front of like the American Gothic. Oh, and that's not American Gothic. It's you know what I mean. The apple in front of the face that's like a pop art reference. She's slightly north of Pittsburgh, but not as north of Pittsburgh as you are. So, okay. Yeah, then this dude drove to Buffalo and then over into Canada recently. At least there's a highway there. 90? I don't know. I did not realize that Detroit is right on the border with Canada. I thought Detroit was like in the middle of Michigan somewhere. My geography is bad even within my own country. But to be fair, my country is huge. There are bigger countries, and I bet there are people that know less about their geography than I do in those giant countries. I dare you to find somebody in China who knows the difference between like this place and this place. Now, like Wuhan, sure. Let me zoom back out. Yeah, and then they've got their own provinces and whatever, and yeah, or in wait a minute, is Mongolia its own country? I thought it was like a region of China. Okay. And then there's Russia. Russia's the biggest country, right? I didn't realize Kazakhstan was so big. Huh. But yeah, all of this is Russia. Also mostly uninhabited. You had to explain to a guy from Scotland that you can't see Hawaii from California. No, that is like 6,000 miles. The distance from New York to LA is similar to Moscow to Lisbon. Remind me where Lisbon is. So here's Moscow. Lisbon. Where the heck is Lisbon? I said I was signing off like 20 minutes ago, didn't I? Or 10. Portugal? Okay. I knew that. Moscow to Lisbon is the same as New York to LA. Yeah. Long way. I that was in my head. I just couldn't. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. So St. Petersburg and Moscow are pretty west for Russia. London to Paris is shorter than London, Texas to Paris, Texas. Love it. Now, are you talking about flight times or distance traveled? Probably both. Let's see. Okay, to drive. Bird's eye drive. Okay, so straight line. Where's my cursor? But at an actual drive, 362 miles. So London, the United Kingdom to Paris is like 2 hours and 20 minutes. You could fly, but if you're going to drive and go through the channel, oh no, that's a train. That's a train. So if you're going to drive, it's 284 miles. Yeah. Wait, the channel is a train channel, isn't it? Or, no. Is it also a vehicle tunnel? Strait of Dover. So that's the cliffs of Dover. Oh, I didn't realize that was right there. Look, there's a lot of geography in the world. The world is big, but it's also small. The United Kingdom of... What is it? Britain, Wales... No, Britain, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. What's the whole name of it? Oh, okay, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. It's made of mainland Great Britain, England, Wales, and Scotland, and the northern part of the island of Ireland. So Northern Ireland is a separate country from the rest of Ireland, and it's part of the UK. So I guess technically this would be like a province of the UK. So is the Isle of Man? Okay. I thought this was in the Mediterranean, the Isle of Man. Or is it its own, like, principality? It's a self-governing British Crown dependency. Okay, so it's like a American territory like Puerto Rico. Okay. Rubinsky, what are you sending me? What's closer to Texas than Texas is to itself? This is wonderful. San Diego is closer to El Paso, which is like the westernmost Texas city, more or less, than El Paso is to Houston, which is pretty far east Texas. It's not exactly like the easternmost, but it's pretty far east. Oh my glob. Yeah, Texas is giant. And it's just one state in our giant freaking country. Okay. Anyway. Give me St. Paul's Cathedral. I only saw it, like, in the distance, in passing, while I was there. The dome looked a lot smoother from my vantage point. That is honestly fairly pretty on the inside. The picture is pixelated all to hell, so I can't actually tell what I'm seeing. But I recognize the Catholic/Anglican lectern here. Okay, you guys can't see that. Okay, anyway, I gotta go to sleep. We'll play those two games on Thursday, the Signy and the other one, DNF Duel. That is a much more impressive poster than the game is. But it's a pretty impressive looking game. It's a pretty bullet hell. It's a pretty Galaga clone. Anyway, this reminds me of those... you saw a European guy get pissed off about us talking about how big the US is, and they were like, stop talking about how big the US is. We know. And someone replied, then stop asking why we don't travel outside of our country more. It takes longer for us to get anywhere. Yeah. In the time it takes me to get from me to you, Errant Knight, they could get from, say, London to Munich? Farther? To... trying to figure out where things are. To, what's the capital of Switzerland? I don't know. But, like, they could be multiple countries away by the time I got to you. Anyway, everybody have a good night. Have a good week. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. I'll see you on Thursday. Same time, 7 p.m. Central. Good night.